KD5 ZCA, WA9JG Marine Mobile. We're on Lake Conroe. I just was listening to you guys, getting into the coming into the 442-900, one of Charlie's repeaters. Talking on a GS-5B. I just wondered how it sounds. I got a new. It's splash proof. It's not waterproof, but it is splash proof. I figured it'd be great for the boat.
It sounds very good.
AJ7,
sounds great over here as well.
Park City, Utah. Just learning about IRLP, and I've been trying to get into this repeater. I don't. Somebody knows how to establish a connection there. There must be somebody out this way that's on your call right now.
Well, thanks for the report, guys. I'll clear off, let you answer the gentleman. WA9JG, thank you. Works good. Hello, this is Jim, WA9JG, and I'm reviewing my GS-5B Radioddity HT. I purchased this about 2 months ago, but due to personal reasons, have not been able to start using it until about 4 weeks ago. There's 2 reasons I bought this radio. First reason is that it's splash proof, rain proof, they call it splash proof, some people. It's IP56, so you want to look up the standard. It's not submersible. If you drop it in the water, you better grab it very quickly, and you better hope that all your seals are closed. It has... Hello, this is Jim, WA9JG, and I'm reviewing my GS-5B Radioddity HT. I purchased this about 2 months ago, but due to personal reasons, have not been able to start using it until about 4 weeks ago. There's 2 reasons I bought this radio. First reason is that it's splash proof, rain proof, they call it splash proof, some people. It's IP56, so you want to look up the standard. It's not submersible. If you drop it in the water, you better grab it very quickly. You better not, and you better hope that all your seals are closed. It has a 200 or 2,000 milliamp hour battery. The battery's pretty good on it. I've left the radio on, and it's lasted till the next day, and that was with it actually receiving quite a bit on the local repeater, and with me transmitting rag tune on a little bit the day before. So it was over 24 hours of operation before it started giving me the low battery warning. This radio is an analog dual band. It's UHF VHF only. It's also got 2 charging modes that I like a lot. It's got the regular drop-in charger, as most of the stuff does, and it's got a small charger back here. If I can get it open, I got it closed pretty good. There we go. It's a micro USB. Now, it's built into the battery pack itself, so it's not for programming the radio, it's for charging only. This radio can be programmed 2 different ways, and this is the other reason I was really excited about this radio. This radio can be programmed via the cable, kind of the standard, kind of the Kenwood style plugs that a lot of the Chinese and Japanese radios have nowadays. It can be programmed with the cable plugged into there. Make sure you always get your seals pushed back in place. That helps with that being able to handle a little bit of rain or a splash here and there. The other way it can be programmed is through a Bluetooth. The radio, you turn on the Bluetooth, and it's not it doesn't have Bluetooth microphone that I can tell. It has Bluetooth where it'll transmit out and you can pair the phone with it. And then there's an application that you download. And that application allows you to communicate with the radio and read in the programs and change anything on the fly. And that's what I liked about it. No programming cable needed. So I've tried it out. It works wonderful. I've made changes on the fly, being out in the middle of nowhere with nothing but my phone and this radio. The thing I did not like about the programming software is the programming software required me to download it from an Amazon, I think it was an S3 bucket, Radioddity storage object, rather than going through the Android Google Play Store. So I really didn't like that. Being a security guy, that set off lots of no-no bells. But I did it anyway because I wanted it on my phone. So luckily I didn't ask for a lot of permissions. I think that Radioddity really needs to get that approved and on the Play Store and properly vetted so that more people will be okay with that. I did not have an iPhone, so I didn't try that. I imagine the iPhone you have to pull from the Apple Store. I don't think there's any way around that. So they need to do work and get the Android approved and get it on there. So if somebody searches for it in the Play Store, it's there. So I don't have to do some back-sided download. The other thing about this radio that I was very pleasantly pleased with is the way it sounds. And both the receive audio, it's very loud, and the transmit audio. The mic, I didn't bump up the mic gain any. I almost always do that as a habit now on my radios. I have an Anytone 878, and that, to use the mic on the radio, you have to bump the mic gain all the way up for it to be loud, pretty loud. Chinese, Japanese radios, as a rule, a lot of times have a very low mic. Don't have enough audio, especially the ones that start with a B. And people can almost always tell. I got good reports, as you've seen on the video that I started this with, out there on the lake. The repeater I talked to on the lake was 20 miles away from me, and I was getting full scale on the S meter. The radio, I will say, I was surprised that when I turned it on, I heard this.
Welcome. Channel mode.
And if you have any of the other Chinese radios, you kind of know the sound there. So they've duplicated and used, I think, pretty much used some of the firmware. The actual screen on it there. If you notice, the S meter only goes to 5. It goes from 1 through 5, and it seems like that once it gets to 5, it says full scale. But I know on some of my other radios, there would still be, up to 9, and it would actually show me that difference. If there's if it's full quieting and no static, it's full scale. And even with it staticking a little bit and not quite getting full quieting on my radio coming into the radio on the demodulation, I hear the scale is full scale, and I hear just a hair of static. I won't be using this for direction finding, I don't think. My direction finding radios, the S meter is a lot more sensitive. I think I'd have to put a lot of attenuation on this to be able to root out a strong signal. It's a 5 watt, 1 watt radio. High is 5 watts, 1 watt is low. It's really very impressive. I really like the radio. It comes with a large flashlight, interestingly enough. I know if you've seen some of the other radios, the flashlight's not very bright. It's got a reflector. Let me turn it on. So it's got a reflector, an LED, and that's a bright LED. It's also got its Sos Mode, alternates, if you can see, a tint of blue, a little bit of red, and a lot of white. So that's the SOS mode. Another thing about the radio, it is dual watch. It's not true dual receive. It doesn't have split receivers like my Wuxon or my Yaesu does. So you have to be careful about. I turn off dual watch most of the time so that I don't have one channel that I have a tone set on getting interference, and that channel basically locking up the receiver, and I'm not hearing the other side. So I like to know what side I'm talking on. This radio also has dual PTT. So if you're used to, say, was that UV87? I got one. Can't remember the model. But it's got the dual PTT also. Other than that, I love this radio. It's a good little radio, $100 basically. And it's great to just carry with me, especially on the boat. And any place I think I might get a little rained on or wet. The only thing that would make it better is if it was DMR. Boy, I would absolutely love it if it was DMR. But I got my little Radioddity 70 GD7, or was it GS-73? Me and model numbers don't get along. Anyway, I'm overall pretty pleased with the radio. All right, you have a good day, and 73 WA9JG clear. WA9JG out here with my GS-5B in the rain. So one of the things you want to make sure for the water resistance is to make sure you have all your flaps, the little rubber flaps, make sure they're sealed. But it does a very good job. And so far I've had it in the rain twice. We got storms down here in Houston. And it dries off and seems to keep going fine.